Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be talking about how I water my orchids. And I know I've kind of gone into that before in one of my other orchid videos, but I just wanted to go into a little bit more detail because I get asked that question a lot. So here we go. So first I line them all up beside the sink like this. Then the first step is to fill all the pots with water. And I do it over my sink, and I use not all the way cold water, but just a little bit tepid water. Not too cold, not too warm, just kind of room temperature water. And where I live here in Winnipeg, Canada, the tap water actually has a lot of minerals in it, but that isn't a problem for orchids because they actually like minerals in the water. So I just use tap water. But depending on where you live, you might want to use bottled water or filtered water, but most likely your orchids will do just fine with tap water. I fill the pots with water all the way to the brim, and I also spray it on all the roots and all the leaves just to give it some extra moisture. Be generous with the water. It doesn't matter if it goes in the under pot, you want to fill it all the way up. Once the pots are filled with water, just set them aside with the other ones. I like to sprinkle some of the water onto the blooms or the forming blooms just so that they can have some moisture as well. And here you can see I fill it all the way up. You can see how it's full in the pot. Then I let them sit for about 5 to 15 minutes with the water in the pots, just to kind of try to simulate their natural habitat in the rainforest where they have water off and on. They have dry periods and wet periods. And when it rains, it really soaks them and then they dry out in between. After letting the pot sit for about 15 minutes, it's time to dump the excess water out. To do this, lift the inner pot out of the outer decorative pot, just like this, and just dump the excess water out of the decorative pot, and then just let the water drain out. Don't worry if a little gets in, and then put the inner pot back into the decorative pot. Some of my orchids don't have a decorative pot on the outside, they're just in one pot. So what I do is I just kind of hold the potting medium, and then I just kind of dump it out like this. Again, it doesn't matter if a little moisture stays in the pot as long as it's not sopping wet. This is another one that doesn't have an outer pot, so I kind of just have to find the right spot, how to hold it. And then I just kind of hold my hand so as to keep the potting medium in, and then I just kind of pour out the excess water like this. Sometimes when the inner pot is really tightly in there, it's a little bit tricky to get out, so I just kind of take my thumb and kind of poke it in there and kind of wiggle it out like this. And you can see by the color of the roots, they're nice and green. That means they soaked up lots of moisture. When the roots are gray, it means that they need water or moisture, and when they're green, it means that they have enough moisture. Sometimes you'll have a little bit of a potting medium in the water in the pot. So what I do is I just kind of pour it back into the inner pot and let it drip out the bottom. That way it doesn't get all in the sink, and I can just pour it back into the inner pot. And you can see this one has crazy roots. They're just crazy aerial roots all over the place. And it's also starting to bloom again soon, so that's great. And this is just a little wooden wedge that I have to keep the plant straight in the pot. And the next thing I do is mist all the plants with just a very fine mist of water. Then I use this Miracle-Gro orchid food, and it's ready to go. It's a ready to spray mixture, and you spray it onto the leaves and the aerial roots and the potting medium. You don't want to spray it onto the flowers or buds. It looks like I'm spraying it on here, but I'm actually not. Oops, I lost that one there for a second. Yeah, so you want to spray it onto all the roots and all the leaves. And that's just an orchid food, and it works really great if you want to rebloom your orchids. And I use this pretty much every second time I water my orchids, sometimes every third time. I just kind of gauge how my orchids look, if they need it or not. And again, here's another one. I do this one separately because it's bigger. Spray it with water first. Just give it a good mist with a very fine mist of water. And then I spray it with the orchid food. And you want to make sure not to get it onto the blooms because it can burn the blooms. So just put it onto the potting medium, onto the leaves, and onto the aerial roots. And here they are back on their displays in our home, and I have them in an east-facing window where they get lots of morning light, and some of them are right in the window and some of them are a little bit further away, but they get lots and lots of light, which in my opinion they need to rebloom. And that's about it. Thanks for watching, everybody, and like always, if you have anything to add, leave it in the comments, and like, subscribe, and see you next time. Bye!